Hi guys, so this is probably the biggest, hardest part of this project is creating your equation around the data that you've managed to research about the parabola you would like to model. So I chose the St. Louis Arch, and I know I chose it just because it's been done so many times. I wanted you guys to choose something else, but if here is my St. Louis Arch. Let's see. Uh, this is what I'm using. Let's see if we can Google up a picture of it so you guys can see what I am looking at. Louis. So here's the arch I am looking for. And really, if you guys are trying to pick a good parabola, an arch is always a good parabola, or also a good parabola is a like suspension bridge, any kind of suspension bridge, I feel like is going to give you that kind of, because it's going to dip in the middle, that parabola. So there's a bunch of them. There is, of course, the Golden Gate Bridge is a great one to choose. You can see just looking at those cables in the middle, that's what you would do it on. Maybe the Brooklyn Bridge, something like that. Or try to find like a natural one. There's some really cool rocks in Utah that make some great parabolas. So back to, here's my St. Louis Arch, not quite the same thing, but what have I found out? So through my research, I found out that from here to here is 630 feet. And also it goes up to 630 feet. So my height, if I were going to draw this, my height would be on the y-axis. And my width is going, I'm not going to be able to draw this as a straight line. I'm apologizing already. My width is going to be on the x-axis. So this is a literal model, not like we were doing with the projectiles where it didn't actually look like what you were drawing. This is a literal model. So here is what I'm going to do. I'm going to erase the 630 and I'm going to write it like this. I know that 0 is here, then 630 is over here. That means my line of symmetry must be directly in the middle of that. So I'm going to do 630 and I'm going to divide it by 2 just to be on the safe side. Then I'm going to get the correct answer and I'm going to get 315. So my vertex is, if I were going to write it as a coordinate point, my vertex is 315, that's my x value, comma, remember x, y, it's in alphabetical order, comma, 630. Okay, so since I can find that one point, I'm gonna make it easy on myself. Well, you could do this one of two ways. I'm going to prefer to use vertex form, which is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. So I already have my hk, because remember, even though I wrote xy because it's a coordinate point, my vertex is my hk. And I just need to, so let me actually erase those and put hk here so that you guys know, because I need another point to find my a to find out how fat this is. So I'm going to choose the easiest point here, 0, 0, right? So let's color code some of this. This point is going to be h comma k, and then this point is going to be 0 comma 0. And that's going to be my additional x, my additional y, because I can only solve an equation and get an answer if there's only one variable. And right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 variables. So for 4 of those variables, I'm going to put in some numbers. So instead of y, I'm going to put 0 because it's yellow. And this is also one of the yellow points. And then my h and my k are there. And then maybe I'll make my h kind of a green color because that's going to be that one. And maybe I'll add some pink to my x because that's going to be there. Okay, so let me just substitute these in. So my y is 0 equals a is what I'm trying to solve for, so that's going to stay there. My x is 0. My h is 315, so we're going to square that. Plus my k is 630. So now I just need to solve for a. So let's just simplify this. 0 is equal to a times 0 minus 315 is negative 315 squared plus 630. So subtract 630 from both sides. So if I do that, this side's going to be negative 630 equals a times, and I'm going to go ahead and square negative 315. So I'm going to do negative 315 times negative 315. And I'm going to get positive 99,225, 99225. Now to get a by itself, we just need to divide both sides by 99225. And this cancels out. So this other side is just going to be an ugly number, but that's okay because that's normally the way it's going to be. So in my calculator, I'm going to put negative 630 divided by 99225. I'm going to get negative, I'm just going to go for numbers, okay? Negative 0.0063. Well, I'm going to do 4. 634. Well, it's going to be 635. I'll round. 635. And that's my a value. So my equation, what my equation is going to be when I go back and put it in, I'll do this in a different color. Let's make my equation green. This is what I need to type up on the slide, and I just want to maybe make that a little bit bigger. Okay, so my equation is going to be y equals negative 0.00635 times x minus 315 squared, it goes outside the parentheses, plus 630. Okay, so that's my equation in vertex form. Now, we need to have it in every form. So the easiest thing to do now, I'm going to erase all of this, you guys, because we need this room. Check this out. This is going to be so easy. as soon as this all gets deleted, delete faster, delete faster. Sorry. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is just put it into, so let's make green vertex. And then let's do purple, bright purple, as factored form. Oh, why didn't it turn purple? Stupid. Purple as factored. And we've already done the hard work. Factored form is just going to be y equals a times x minus root 1 times x minus root 2. So check it out. We've already done all the hard work to find a. So I already know it's going to start off y equals negative 0.00635 times x minus, I just need to find my root 1, and x minus, I need to find my root 2. Well, that's really easy. I'll highlight those both in yellow since one of them is already highlighted in yellow. It's going to be 0 and 630. Okay, 630. Okay. So that leaves us with one more form. Do you guys remember what it is? We have standard form. Okay, so standard form is going to be easiest. All we have to do, I think, okay, let's do another color, green for no, we already did green it. It's a different green, but I just kind of wanted to do a whole orange. Okay. So standard form, if you remember, is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. This is what we used for projectiles. And remember, b was the velocity, c was our starting value, and a was velocity due to gravity or speed due to gravity. So here we have our a. We already know our a, so let's do standard form, and we already have our a, so it's going to look like y equals negative 0.00635 x squared plus, we don't know what that is, but we know we're starting at 0, so we're just going to add 0 at the end because we're starting at the ground. And I'm going to pause this for 1 second. So in order to find b, we just have to simplify this a little bit. What I'm going to do is just, whoops, not delete everything. What I'm going to do is just use an area model to multiply these together. So x minus 0 times x minus 630. So x squared, these are just both going to be 0 because anything times 0 is 0. So this is just negative 630x. So what I have is negative 0.00635 times, instead of those two factors, I have x squared minus 630x. Okay. So I just multiply through, and this first thing, when I am distributing, I already have that. Negative 0.00635 times x squared, I already have in the equation. I have negative 0.00635x squared. Okay, it's this next piece, multiplying that decimal times negative 630, which is going to be a negative that is going to give me my b value. So that is going to be times negative 630. I'm going to get, Oh, a negative times a negative is a positive. Boom. It's going to be positive 4. That's what my calculator says. Positive 4. I can't believe we got such a perfect number from that. So, and then technically I do not need that last 0. Okay, so that is how you can write your 3 equations.